now?
Someone's from the US
Okay,
as well. So many people.
many people. Okay, good evening, everyone. Again, let's start with this amazing call with Lucia Adzic, our diamond from Croatia. Lucia, we like to hear your story. How came it that you found your way to Young Living?
Okay, so good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for joining from all over the world. This is so exciting. I'm just looking at the chat and seeing everyone right where they're from. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to come sit down on this call with us, and I hope that some parts of my story are going to be interesting to you and maybe inspire you to make some changes or anything. Like, I hope it brings you value and blesses you in a way. Um, wow, Canada as well. So many people. Hi, everyone. Thank you. So first of all, I'm going to introduce myself because the majority of you probably don't even know who I am. So my name is Lucia and I live in Croatia. I am 29 years old and I'm a mom of 3 little ones. They are 5 and under. So it's very full over here in terms of just babies and kids and all that good stuff. Motherhood has definitely been a transformative experience for me and something that really made me rethink my career options and just how I want to live my life. I'm not sure if I would be where I am today if I wasn't a mom. So I really believe that that was something that really, really changed me. I became a mom at the age of 24, which in my kind of culture and my country is a little bit younger than the average. I was very lonely at the time. I had no friends or siblings who were in the same life situation in terms of like being pregnant and having babies. So I turned to online communities in order to find support, to learn something about raising kids and having a new baby at home and all that good stuff. And that is how I started an Instagram account, which was about 6 years ago now. I started just connecting with people and sharing bits and pieces of my own motherhood journey. And when I became a mom for the second time, which was a year and a half later, I was in a really, really difficult season. For those of you who have experienced 2 under 2 or even more, you know how challenging it can get. And I felt like I was just thrown into the fire and we weren't sleeping well. I was physically and emotionally really, really exhausted. And I was about to go back to work and I just felt like I had no control over my life. I felt like I was put into this spot where I was supposed to be handling everything so well. And I felt like I was failing at every single thing. And I really wanted to change. I was desperate for change in all areas. I felt like my whole life needed a reset so I can start over and figure everything out. So I started by implementing little changes in my home in terms of like incorporating new rhythms and routines with my kids, and also turning towards minimalism more. I started reading personal development books and I just dove into this new world. And one of the things that I also wanted to change, which was kind of a natural step for me, was the things that we were using in our home, the products. I wanted to get rid of scented candles and air fresheners and all the things that I knew weren't really good for my health. And that's how I came across Young Living. So it was from a pure desire for a change, for a personal change. I did not buy my starter kit to build a business or something like that. It was more because I wanted something for myself. I wanted something to help me with my own health and wellness journey. I had an autoimmune disease and I wasn't in a good place and I really needed some support. I went to med school and finished med school, graduated. And during that time, it was 6 years of studying back and forth in Canada and Croatia. I learned a lot and it was an incredible experience, but I had no idea about aromatherapy, plants, anything like that, because that's taught in med school. So that was a whole new territory for me. But once I got my kid and started oils and started exploring all the benefits and all the things, it was just like someone brought me into this new world where I felt so Good. I just started feeling better. I felt like things were finally shifting, like I was finally being a better version of myself. And I was using these products that made me feel good about myself, about my motherhood, about like my family in general. I joined ER right away because I wanted to ditch and switch all the other products. And it was just a very personal transformation that I was enjoying so much that I could not talk about it with other people. Because when we really love something, when we love a good restaurant, a good movie, we're going to naturally share that with others. And that's kind of how my business part of the journey started. Initially, I was just curious and I looked at the business opportunity, but I wasn't really sold on it. I wasn't like, I'm going to do this. But once the time came for me to go back to work after my second maternity leave, I just knew that something had to change. I was so into being with my kids and watching them grow and learning from them and growing with them that I could not stand to be a part of that, away from that. Like I couldn't stand being a part of that, away from them. So I was like, I remember when I got back to work after my second maternity leave, I would just be so miserable, getting up so early and leaving them and then coming back home late, working opposite shifts, working weekends. I just felt like I was missing out on so much in order to build a career that I wasn't really into as much. Because when you study something and then you finish your school and then you're thrown into the system, it often creates this effect where you're just like, oh, this was not what I thought it was. This wasn't what I signed up for. And that's what happened to me. And living in a low income country, being a doctor here is not the most rewarding job. It's very respected, well respected, and honored, but the paychecks are ridiculously low. And I knew that in order to build a life that I wanted for myself and my babies, I'm going to have to like work a few jobs or create or find something. And when the business opportunity of Young Living was presented to me, I kind of caught the vision. It was like, if I could just get to silver, that would be pretty much the same income that I was making as a doctor, as a physician in a family practice here. And what if I could get to gold or platinum? Those were all like things going through my mind. But it wasn't until November of 2017 when I really put my foot down and told myself, I'm going to go and I'm going to do this. I had no experience in network marketing. I had no experience in building a business in general. I had no experience in leadership or anything like that. So it was all new to me. But I had a vision and I felt like I was called to do that. And I felt like that was the only right way. Once I kind of admitted that to myself, I knew that there wasn't going to be another way, at least not for the next season of my life. So in November, for those of you who are numbers people, I'm going to share my journey like chronologically. In November of 2017, which is almost 3 years now, I officially started building my business and enrolled some of my first members, and I hit star and senior star in the same month. Then in January of 2018, we hit executive. And I remember being so excited because there was an old, like, I'm not sure what it was called before the Silver Bound bonus, but if you'd hit executive within the 3 months, you would get a free Aria. And the Aria was a dream for me because I could not afford it. And it was something that I knew that I wasn't going to be able to buy, and getting it for free was such a dream come true and a huge motivation for me to push for executive. Then in May of 2018, so 4 months later, we hit silver. And in June of 2018, I quit my job. At the time, that was a huge leap of faith because I wasn't like at a stable income. It wasn't a lot of money. It was just very much a leap of faith, but I just could not stand being away from my kids anymore. I could not stand missing out on so many important moments in their lives. I just felt like I was trapped and I needed to leave. And the day that I quit my job, I also found out I was pregnant with my third baby. And it was kind of a sign for me that it was the right decision. And I remember crying all day long because I had no idea what I was doing, but I just felt this sense of calm and security, and this voice telling me this is the right way. This is going to be great. Just keep going. Just keep pushing. This is going to change your life, and this is going to change the lives of so many other people. So in November of 2018, we hit gold. And then in August of 2019, we hit platinum. And in April of 2020, we hit diamond. And we have continued to grow ever since. So as you can see, we kind of went through those ranks pretty quickly, especially for a European market business. And I'm going to share some of the things that I personally think were key when it comes to this kind of growth in our country. So our team today is very close to 10,000 members. So we are a pretty large team. And when I was first starting out back in November of 2017, I thought that no one in my country is going to want to know about Young Living. We are a low income country. People here are struggling very much. There's a very large gap between people who have money and are living their lives in a really, really good and like decent way, and those who are really struggling.
Right. You ready to work? To get tips from these women?
You can sit him on my lap and you can feed him like the other day.
Sorry, 1 second. Can you, Vanessa, can you mute yourself, please?
I think it's okay now.
Yeah,
that's
okay, good.
So yeah, I want to share this part because when I first started out, I kind of thought to myself, I have this gift of speaking another language fluently. So I am going to go online and I'm going to try and build an international business, focusing mostly on people in Canada and the United States. And I'm going to lead them from here because no one in my country is going to be interested. The starter kit is too expensive. It's like over half of an average paycheck. No one's going to be able to buy it. And that was kind of what I was thinking. I did not have a vision for my country when I was first starting out. I was extremely focused on building internationally because I thought that this was never going to work. Little did I know that as soon as I started actively sharing in terms of, I built my business mostly online. I am going to touch on that a little bit later. But as soon as I started sharing, the people that started coming in were the people who were actually local to me. And that was a huge surprise because I was certain that no one's going to want it because it's so expensive. I created this barrier in my own head where I was saying no for people before they even got the chance to hear what it is that I had to offer to them. So don't ever do that. Never say no instead of someone, because at the end of the day, this investment that they're making is the investment that they're making in their health. And it can be done at any income. Trust me, it's just a matter of our own barriers, our mental barriers, and just the way that we think and the way that we present things. So once I started, openly sharing, and once I realized that people are not only interested in buying the products, but they're also very interested in what it is that I'm doing now, because it felt new and it was exciting. And I had this passion, like I still have it to this day. Whenever I'm talking about the products, whenever I'm doing a live on Instagram, or whenever I'm hosting an in-person class, I always speak from my heart, and I know that people can feel that. And that was kind of something that I feel made a difference in the beginning stages of my business. And it's what made people interested, because I looked happy and people wanted to be a part of that. So check your energy, like check where you are right now in your business. What's the energy that you are putting out there? What are you radiating? Is that attracting people or is it pushing people away? So once I realized that people local to me were interested, I started really building my business, and then my vision quickly changed. It went from me wanting to build internationally and independently, and quitting my job and being at a solid silver paycheck so that I can just stay home. My vision quickly shifted and turned into something much, much bigger. I realized that I could use myself, my own example, and my hard work to bring the financial and time freedom and wellness to people who are local to me, and that could actually be the way in which I, as one person, could change the trajectory of so many lives in my country. And that, once I realized that, that really sparked a fire in me, and it made me go all in. So for the first 6 months of building my business, I did not sleep, you guys. I would get up at 4 a.m. every single day, and I would work until 7 a.m. in the morning, creating classes, materials, photos, talking to people, doing Zoom calls late at night, doing Zooms from my car on my way to work, back from work, in the like 15-minute gaps that I had in between patients. I just had this fire in me because I saw what this business could do, and I saw the potential, and I saw the opportunity, and I wanted to create that for others. There aren't a lot of businesses out there in which your hard work directly affects other people. The only way to be successful in Young Living is to make other people truly successful. And with that mission in mind, you can go so far, and seeing the rewards through other people's lives being changed is something that just kept reassuring me that I was on the right path, and that every single thing that I was doing made so much sense. And like I said, those first 6 months, I feel like I haven't slept. It was very stressful. I sacrificed a lot, to be honest. I was just fully immersed in my business and my family and nothing else. And I think that's why we grew so quickly in the beginning, and why we saw so many changes. And then it just kept going, that my vision started translating into my team and their teams. And one of the things that I'm so proud about when I'm looking back on like 2018, when we hit silver and gold, I feel like they caught the vision immediately, and they started leading by example and took their roles as leaders very early on. Some of the people that I'm talking about right now are my golds and my platinums, and people who are just here from the very beginning, and who just really embrace those roles. And as we moved on forward through all the other ranks and our growth and everything, the most rewarding thing by far has always been just seeing other people's lives being changed, and forever taking for granted the fact that we are now where we are. In January this year, my husband stopped working, so he's home with us now full time, and we are, you know, a full-time Young Living, income living family, and it is such an incredible blessing. When it comes to, I'm going to touch a little bit more on the low income country things. Like I said, first things first, it is a barrier inside my head. And I remember being on a call. I'm not sure who that call was held by, but I remember someone telling me about Romania. That year, there was an incentive for Hawaii, my first year, I think 2017. And a person from Romania was at the very top of the list. And I was like, wow. Okay, so Romania is an even lower income country than Croatia is. There must be something out there, you know, there's a chance for us here as well. And then I quickly realized that there is a huge advantage of low income countries when it comes to higher income countries. The business opportunity is life-changing. If you create a community that is life-giving, and you combine that community with a life-changing opportunity, you are creating something that spreads like wildfire, that draws people in and changes lives like nothing they've seen before. If you can, like what I've seen from my team, we created paths for people to walk into a silver income within a year from starting their businesses that is well over an average income in Croatia. So I know a silver paycheck is nothing in higher income countries. I mean, I'm not going to say it's nothing, but it's not actually an average paycheck, and most people will not quit their jobs when they hit silver. But in Croatia, in lower income countries, that is a life-changing income for a family. That is more than most people will ever make. And I firmly believe that every single person who decides to build a Young Living business can build a Young Living business to silver. If you start with silver in mind, if you just keep the, you know, star, senior, star, executive as like little steps along the way with silver in mind, I think everyone can do it, every single person. And that's kind of our vision and what we are doing here. We are trying to get everyone to silver. We're trying to collect as many silvers on the way, because we know that that silver paycheck allows most people in a low income country to quit their jobs if they want to, of course, and it gives a really, really good stable income for their families. So I think that is a great advantage. And I think one of the reasons why we've grown as fast as we have is because we never stopped the business opportunity. We've led with the business from the very beginning because it truly is life-changing. We've created a community that just so welcoming and so serving and so focused on improving people's lives in general, not just focusing on their health, because why stop there? We have amazing products. We have products that pretty much sell themselves because they're so good and they do change people's lives. But why stop there? Why not teaching them that there's more to it? Why not teaching them that there's events like this where you can actually learn from other people, where you can hear other people's stories, where you can connect with others? You know, it's just, we have this opportunity is the best product Young Living offers. And the sooner we realize that, and the sooner we, start talking about it, the faster our teams are gonna grow. So I'm seeing a question, how people can afford products with a low income, how do I sell them to? So I don't really ever use the term selling when it comes to Young Living in general, because we are more like sharing. I'm sharing my personal experience and I am leading by example. And that is kind of what draws people in the most. So when we talk about money, it is something that, it's a very complex topic. There's like generations and generations of limiting beliefs being built upon people, and it's hard to break through those limiting beliefs. But when I'm talking to them about the products, I am just putting that price as a no-brainer. So that's the price. And we are not going to say it's expensive. We're not going to say, oh, I know this is a lot of money. No, I'm just so confident in the value of our products that I'm telling people, if you have to save for this for 3 months, it's worth it. Trust me, it's worth selling some of your old clothes that you're not even wearing, some of your old pieces of furniture, whatever. It is so worth it. And then I tell them, if you want to hop on ER, you can just transfer buy. You can stop buying the products that you are buying at your local store, and you can use that budget towards your Essential Rewards orders and do it little by little. You can enroll 2 people a month and cover your ER. There are so many ways. When people really catch the vision and when they want the lifestyle change, when you offer the community to them, it just happens naturally and the money just stops being an issue. Once it stops being an issue in our heads, in the way that we talk, in the way that we radiate, it just stops being an issue in other people's heads. It's just like that. It's very, very simple. Okay, so I wrote down some of my top tips or some of the things that I think are very, very important and useful when it comes to building a successful Young Living business. And I feel like these are the things that have helped me grow to diamond in a relatively short amount of time. So I'm going to start with number 1, which I think is probably one of the most important ones, and that is creating your vision and a blueprint for this business. I see a lot of people coming into the business opportunity of Young Living just, wanting to learn a little bit more, explore a little bit, and maybe casually enrolling someone, and that is fine. Not all of our members and business builders are very active leaders. Some of them are just casual sharers who love to be a part of that community, and that is amazing. But if you are wanting to be a diamond, you are going to have a really strong vision. And I shared mine. Mine was like to change my life, to change the lives of people around me, to create a community that is life-giving and life-changing, and that is creating this space for a better life in a country that isn't doing what it should be doing. So I had this vision, and this vision just keeps growing and growing. And a blueprint, when I say a blueprint, you can't just start a business and hope that it will fit into your life. You need to create a blueprint from it. Like, how am I going to fit this business into my life? How can I create space for it? How can I create time for it? How can I really, really dive deep into everything that I need to in order to grow this business to be something successful. So a blueprint means that you just kind of have a vision. In the very beginning stages of my business, I knew that I did not have the time. So I had to create the time using methods of multitasking and sacrifice, which I do not recommend for longer periods of time. But for me, that was the only way in the beginning. So I would get up super early or go to bed late and use all of my free time. And that was kind of my blueprint. And then it kind of started transforming as I had more time, as season changed, as my life changed. But I had it. It was always like in somewhere inside of my life. I never put it on a side. I never forgot about it. I never took a pause from it. It was just always there. And I was very vocal about how important that was to me when it comes to my family and my husband, which I think is very, very important in the very beginning stages. So you need to have a vision and a why that you will keep going back to, because things are going to get hard and complicated and you're going to want to give up a lot of the times. But if you have a vision, it's not going to let you do it. When you lay in bed at night and you say to yourself, I want to give up, you're going to have that voice telling you, but you are on a mission. You have so much power in you. You are going to change people's lives. You cannot give up. And it just won't let you if it's strong enough. Number 2, treat this business like a business, and it will pay like a business, and it will change other people's lives like a real business does. So that kind of continues onto the things that we were talking about first, because if you treat this like a hobby, it will probably not become this monumental thing that will change people's lives. It will also never pay like a real job. But if you treat it like a business, which for me personally means creating time and space with people, everything that needs to be done, like having systems in place for all the things that are necessary. It's something that's really important. Like if we're treating it as a business, it's going to be a business. If we're treating it as something we don't really want people to know about, or something that we're kind of shy about, or something that we're just, exploring, it is not an actual thing. Each and every single one of us is creating our own personal brand by doing our Young Living businesses. We all offer the same products, but the reason why some people are going to buy from me and not from anyone else is because of the way that I am presenting them, which is unique to me, as well as it is unique to all of you. So each and every one of us are building our own stories within the Young Living community. I firmly believe that Young Living is a very well-established brand, and they don't need either me or you to promote them. They need people who are willing to share the benefits of the lifestyle that can be experienced when they join Young Living. And that is unique for all of us. And every single one of us needs to figure out our way of doing things and needs to figure out how to fit that into our lifestyle and how to treat it as a real business. And I've done that from day one. And that's what I've been teaching my team from day one. And I feel like that is so important and one of the main reasons why we grew as quickly as we grew. Number 3 would be focusing on being a servant leader. I know leadership is not something that comes naturally to most people. I cannot say it came naturally to me, but I do think that I have some leadership tendencies and qualities. I'm a 3 on the Enneagram. I am a red type of personality. So I do have kind of some of those qualities built into who I am, but a lot of them, the majority of them, I actually had to develop over time. We have the tendency to kind of connect the word leader with a boss, like I'm a leader, so I am telling people what to do. And that is not servant leadership, which is the only kind of leadership that works in a network marketing business. Servant leadership means I am here for you. So I am placed here for a reason. I am here for every single person who wants to become a part of my community. I'm here to serve them. I'm here to help them build their businesses. I'm here to help support their members. I'm here to educate people. I'm here to pour all of my times and effort into serving others. And that is a game changer when it comes to like shifting the way that we think, releasing expectations. Like our team members are not here to serve us. They're not here to work for us. We're not giving them a paycheck. So we have no right to expect anything from them. We are here to live by our own example and doing the things that need to get done in order to create a path for them to walk on. Like I knew that that my role wasn't going to be to just sit down and wait for people to start hosting classes and make intakes and Zoom calls. I knew that I needed to do that first to show them how it's done. And then they will show their team how it's done. And always leading by example, flipping ranks as an example, you know, doing all the things, just showing people, hey, this is possible if you work really hard, if you're very disciplined, if you're very consistent, and I'm here to serve you. Creating resources for my team, which I had to do from scratch. We had none in Croatian, like nothing. So I had to create all of that from scratch. And we started creating things together as our team grew. And now we have so many resources for new people who come that they don't even have to move a finger to create anything. And we keep creating more, and we keep getting like creative about different things and just serving everyone. When you start, you know, growing your business, thinking as if you are one of your team members and building as if you are someone else, it just really brings you into that servant leadership role. And I feel like that is one of the key things that we need to be aware of. Like if we are going to be good leaders, we need to be servant leaders. We need to be there for our people, and we need to work for them. And then all of the success is going to come later on. For each and every rank that I flipped, I was always, I need to get this person to silver this month, or to executive, or to gold. And then as a consequence of that, I would flip to platinum or diamond. You know, it was never, I'm going for diamond, this is going to be my diamond month. I mean, those are the ranks that are not, they're not mine, they're my team. So I'm just the one that has the honor to walk in front of them and to have kind of hold that title for them, but it's teamwork. And when we realize that, and when we realize the power of servant leadership, everything changes, and it just has so much power. So I want you to be aware of that. And the last thing, no, not the last, the second to last thing is invest in your personal growth. What people are not aware of is that probably 90% of this business is just your own personal growth. And 10% are the income producing activities, which are super simple. Share about the starter kit, share about essential rewards, share about the business opportunity. Everything else pretty much stays the same, but the personal growth part is massive. And that is something that I started before I started my Young Living business. I started reading books, listening to podcasts, and just diving deeper into myself and learning how to let go of certain limiting beliefs, of, you know, behavioral systems that weren't working, learning how to, you know, think differently, how to think abundance, how to think, you know, joy, how to think prosperity, how to think all the positive thoughts that I can. And that came from painful personal growth. And along the way through this business, if I can tell you anything, it would be to just allow that business to change you. When it gets hard, when it gets painful, stop looking for validation outside, stop blaming others, stop, you know, having expectations, and just shut all the doors and look at yourself. Take a really, really good look at yourself and ask yourself what it is that I can change, what it is that has to change in me in order for me to step up. Whenever I was going from a certain rank to another rank, there was always the same question, what it is that has to change within me for me to get from platinum to diamond. It was never how many people I have to enroll, how many, you know, OGV gaps I have to close. Those are all practical things that are just the same for every rank, but the personal growth aspect is so different. And if you are refusing it, if you are walking away from it, you will never be able to grow in this business. So take every single situation, every stepping stone, every failure as an invitation for growth, because once you learn how to grow from your failures and your mistakes and your, you know, relationship challenges, your business will start growing as well. Our business is a reflection of ourselves, of our beliefs, of our behavior, of what we are doing on a daily basis, how we are living. So you cannot live a negative lifestyle. You cannot be frustrated all the time. You cannot be negative. You cannot have, you know, limiting beliefs. You cannot live inside your comfort zone and expect your business to grow. That's just not going to happen. It's not how it works. So tapping deep into that personal growth is what brings the most growth in your organization. Trust me. So invest time in that. Read books, listen to podcasts, watch videos, pay for retreats, whatever you need to do. I spend a lot of money on my personal growth because that is something that makes me a better person, not just in my role as a leader, but also as a mother, as a wife, as a sister, as a daughter, as a friend. It is incredible, and do not neglect it because it's the number one most important thing when it comes to growing any business, especially a Young Living business. And the last thing that I wanted to share is a tip on being creative and innovative and never stop showing up. We have the tendency to get in a rut when we do the same things over and over again. And like any other business, it can get boring in a certain point. But if we are constantly trying different things and saying yes to things and being open to challenges and just, being creative and figuring out new ways, new things, new challenges, it will never get boring. It will never make us feel like we are stuck in the same place, and it will just be so, so, so amazing. So we do all kinds of things as a team. We keep imagining new stuff, even though I think we've done everything you could possibly think of, but we always come up with new challenges, new groups, new, nights like these, diamond nights. We did like executive night, silver night, gold night, senior star night, and just doing things as a team, doing things individuals. Those are all things that are very, very, very important because they're going to keep the energy flowing, the momentum going, and it's going to keep you feeling alive in this business. Because if you're alive, the momentum starts in you. You are the thing that will move your team. And if you are being creative and innovative and doing new things and thinking in different ways and learning, reaching out to like crossline people, learning from others, watching videos, getting inspired, and then translating that into your work, it will never get boring. And it will always be interesting for new people and new members to join that. So we need to keep that energy flowing, and we need to be really, really creative in how we do our businesses. And I'm a younger diamond, I think, maybe the youngest in Europe. So I really love my online community. I've shared the majority of my journey through my Instagram, and I love creative ways and new ways. I love just being, able to connect with people all over the world. I love being able to work wherever I want to. And I don't really do a lot of traditional things in terms of like presentations and stuff like that, but I do love them. And when my team members invite me, I attend them and I share there. And I enjoy that personal communication, but I am very, very creative when it comes to like online businesses and just, bringing that connection through a virtual platform, which will never, of course, be a replacement for seeing someone in person, but it's a really great way to reach people. And I think one of the reasons why we grew so much is that we've learned how to really create community that feels as if you know someone. A lot of people think that building a business online means opening up an Instagram account and sharing all about oils and just putting oil pictures and diffusers and just waiting for people to come to you and tell you they want to buy something. But that's so far from the truth. Building an online business, first of all, means building your own personal brand, means being in front of the camera, means being in front of the lifestyle that you're presenting, and means sharing your heart and your values and your life on a daily basis. And that's a lot of work. So I work a lot, but I love it because it allows me to connect with so many people, and it allows me to change so many lives, not just through Young Living, but also through other things that I talk about with my people, because it should never just be one thing. We are all so much more than our businesses. And if we kind of incorporate that, it becomes an essential part of our lifestyle. And when we share our hearts, it just comes out of us naturally. So really, if you've never been growth to lean into, or if you've never hosted a make and take, maybe that's something you could do. Like, be really, really creative and very self critical. If you've been in the same place for a while and you haven't tried new things, then that's kind of an indication that maybe you should go out there and be more creative and be more innovative and never really stop showing up. I firmly believe that each and every one of us, regardless of where you're coming from, if you have an amazing income background, or if you are in a low income country, if you are someone who uses online platforms or not, if you are older or younger, I really believe none of that matters, because if we have the thing that I talked about in the first part of these tips, like if we have that vision for ourselves and in our community, and if we have that blueprint, we can really create amazing things. And it's going to be built up on a lot of little failures, but when they add up and when the growth adds up, it's going to be just a massive success. And I feel like having that faith in yourself and having that vision and then being able to pour into other people, servant leadership is what really, really makes you successful in a business like this. And not only successful, but creates a long, stable and sustainable growth, because none of us want to come here and just, make some money and then go away. We want a willable income for our children. We want to create a community that will invite people in and that will continue transforming other people's lives. And that is the most beautiful thing, because like I said, there aren't many there that you can start businesses you can start that can allow you to literally change other people's lives and the way that they live and do and lead and love and everything. It is just such an amazing opportunity that I'm so passionate about. And if anything sticks with you from this call, let it be that there's so much more to oils and the Young Living community than just, the products and wellness. I love our business community. We have a Facebook group that is open for all of you. So I'm going to link it here towards the end of the call, or I'm going to send it to Allie so he can share it with you, that you can all join. And I share a lot there. I share all of the materials that I do. We do calls sometimes, and you're all welcome. I want the cross-line culture to become more normalized in Europe. There's so much space for growth here. We're just getting started, and I'm so excited to sit down on a call like this and listen to some of you who are here right now, because I do believe it's really, really possible. So I think that's it. I hope it just didn't last for too long. Allie, are you still here?
It is amazing. I mean, I'm impressed how much you can talk without making it boring and keeping it interesting. And I think I'm speaking for everyone here that we could listen more to you. So I love your passion. I love the way how you built this business. I love your mindset. I mean, hey guys, write in the chat. Give Lucia feedback, and it's really amazing. I love the attitude what you have, that you say you are open to share and that you see opportunities for everyone. I mean, being so young and so smart and already so successful, this means a strong character, and this is what I see in you. You have a very strong character, and you are leading by example. I love it, and I hope that we can win you for more calls like this, and soon on stage when the events are possible. So, Lucia, tell me, I'm wondering, what are your hobbies? Do you have time for something like this, or?
Actually, I do. Just when you mentioned, how come I can talk so much? I host a podcast in Croatian, which is all about personal growth and development. And I have another separate online community. So that's kind of my passion. I'm really into helping people become better versions of themselves. And I work on that actively, which is something that I do pro bono. It's not really giving me an income, but it's a true passion of mine. So that's something that I've been dedicating a lot of my free time to. And it's just, I feel like when each and every one of us comes in a season of our lives, when we realize that we actually aren't here to just be one of the many, and that we can change, other people's lives and the way that they live and think and everything. It's such a blessing, for example, you do a lot through your work. You do have a corporate job, but it's so much more than that. You affect people in so many ways. You build relationships, you inspire others, and that's a beautiful thing. And I kind of started with a thought, what if every single person I can reach would start thinking that way. Like, what if I can be the best possible version of myself where I'm placed right now? And it's not just about, you know, I don't think everyone needs to be an entrepreneur or anything, but we can all definitely learn and grow and be better at the things that we are doing. And that's kind of what kind of arose as one of my biggest passion. And that is something that this business kind of gave me. I didn't know I had that in me before, honestly.
This is huge. This is really huge to observe how you describe your own personal growth and inspire others to invest in personal growth. And I can only echo what you said. I mean, if we are not willing to grow personally and stay where we are, we don't need to wonder if we see others raising, others growing, and then we feel frustrated. And I think growth in any aspect of life starts with ourselves. So if we don't grow, nothing around us can grow. And you are a great example for this. Thank you so much for sharing everything. I would like to have a picture with you for my post when I post the recording. And I don't know if the others like to have a picture with Lucia. That's the chance now, guys. Show yourself with your beautiful smile, what you have, and then let's do a picture with Lucia. Okay, one more. Oh, that's great. That's great. Let me save it. Let me save it. I love it. I love to do this kind of pictures here. It's always fun.
I'm going through the chat, just wanting to see if there are some questions.
Yeah, let's do it.
Someone asked if I have my own website. I do. I just launched it a month ago, so you don't need a website to get to Diamond, but I am going to put it here in case someone wants to see it. I'm also going to put my Instagram handle. And someone asked me if my team is international. I do have teams in other parts of Europe, but I think 90% of my team is actually local. So I recommend keeping it local because it's what resonates with us the most. So
Lucia, которая на Инстаграме сделала.
How can you share? Okay, so I'm just gonna grab my phone, Allie, and just turn my camera off so I can share my Instagram handle.
Yeah, you can also put it in the chat and send me the
links.
No problem. People are also asking what podcasts you do recommend and which books. Also, good question.
Well, I could share an entire post on that. So I love personal development podcasts. I listen to podcasts in English. I'm sure that other regions and languages have many more choices because in Croatia, there's only a few. I love On Purpose by Jay Shetty. I love The Purpose Show by Allie Cassazza. I love Rise podcast by Rachel Hollis. I love Gold Digger by Jenna Kutcher. So those are kind of some of my favorites.
Yeah, let's put them in the chat and I will also take them and put them in the post. I will do a post after this call and share the recording of the call so you can watch it, you can share it, guys. And I'm pretty sure it's worth it if you share this call with other people. So guys, I don't know, Lucia, do you have a last final inspirational tip which you like to share?
No, I would just like to thank everyone for being here and taking the time out of your day to listen to my story. I am so hoping to meet you all in Spain next year, hoping and praying for that to happen, really. But even if it doesn't, I'm sure our time will come. I'm cheering you on. You are all welcome in my Ready to Grow group. You can go in Facebook, type in Ready to Grow, and you can join the group and we can connect there. And yeah, just thank you so much. I'm so honored to be able to be here tonight and share all of this with you. And I hope it blessed you in a way and helped you and maybe, you know, sparked something in you that you didn't know was there before. Thank you, Allie, for a wonderful host. And I am definitely open to doing more of these. This is, you know, something I really enjoy doing. It's not stressful to me. It's not hard. It's not, you know, I really, really love that. And I feel like this really helps our Young Living community to feel more whole. These open calls are so, so, so amazing. So thank you for hosting them.
It's my pleasure. It's our pleasure. And I think we are all very inspired tonight. It was one of the best calls I ever had here. And I don't want to say anything more. I just want to keep the energy how it